I got one.
Okay, go for it.
What is the best household chore?
Ooh,
The best chore, it means
that's a
like
good question.
enjoyable chore or just like
Just
most
one you like or
rewarding?
one you're really good at, one you're really efficient at.
God, this makes me sound like a house mom, but I like
Good.
washing the dishes.
Good. You are a house mom.
Hand wash or dishwasher?
Dishwash.
hand wash. Bro.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I wash them, but then I throw them in the dishwasher.
All right, cool.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, you gotta do both. You can't do.
No,
I
I'm
was like,
putting,
you got
I'm putting
chunks
my,
on your
putting
plates,
my,
bro.
I just throw them in there. Fuck it.
No.
my ketchupy ass plates from my chicken nuggets are just whatever.
Well, the reason why I like it so much is the warm water. It's very soothing and it's very relaxing, therapeutic.
Every time I get warm water on my hands, it makes me have to pee.
I get that.
Right?
Natural.
So I'm not a fan of it because I'm like, as you drink piss, you're drinking piss. I saw it.
Dude,
You're drinking my piss.
Bro, that's an unhealthy bladder.
It's Langers.
Hey.
It's
It's
mango
all right,
Langers.
Mine would have to be efficient and enjoyable. I think are in two separate categories because efficient, I'm big, so I can move like a shit ton of laundry,
hell yeah.
but I don't like laundry. So I think for me, my favorite thing that I would like to do is like I'm a fan of dusting, light dusting,
Yes.
Ooh.
kind of clearing
Yes.
stuff up.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for it, but I love alphabetizing my movies.
Oh
That's not
yeah.
a chore.
That's a chore. I feel like that's a chore.
Actually, it is a chore. You're absolutely right.
It's a
You know,
self-made
but it's
chore.
not a household chore.
Yeah,
That is true,
especially
right?
Yeah.
it's one thing when you got
Dad,
like
you want
separate
me to do
movies.
your
like,
movies?
that's interesting. It's one thing you got separate movies like 1, 2, 3, bam.
Uh-huh.
But then you have compilation movies. Like I have
Yeah.
I have a Charles Bronson double feature on my shelf, and it's got Telephone and St. Ives on it. But do I do C for Charles Bronson or one of the movie titles?
Or B for Bronson? I would do it B for Bronson.
Probably B for Bronson, but it's confusing. It says Charles Bronson
That's why
on the
I can't
end
buy
label.
double features. I can't do it. It's just I saw the Shining 2001 combo pack, and I'm like,
That's what I have.
I can't do that.
I just put that up front.
Can't.
2001. Boom.
Unless you buy something like the Lethal Weapon quadrilogy or the John Wick trilogy, that
Yeah,
makes
just
sense.
Lethal Weapon, John Wick. For me, what's hard is like doing so I have Godzilla 2014, and then I also have Shin Godzilla. So do I put it under Godzilla or Shin Godzilla? So I just put Shin Godzilla.
You know what I do? You know what I hang on. You know what I do for
ADD
Godzilla
has
movies?
entered the chat.
You know what I do for Godzilla movies is I order the American movies and then the Japanese movies.
Oh,
I order
okay.
them separately.
Okay. See, I have the Japanese movies in the big old box, the one that Ryan has.
Oh, the book?
I'll tell you this. Here's the proper way to organize your movies, and you don't have to worry about double features or anything. You go by genre.
Cool.
That's how I organize my movies. But
Genre.
household chore. I like dusting, but that was already said. So honestly, cleaning. Okay, this is not it, but cleaning my own toilet is fine because I know what's going on in that toilet.
Yeah.
That's fine. But like if
This
it's a
is my
household chore, you're
pube.
cleaning other toilets, and it's like
Yeah.
this is not my pube. That's when it's a problem.
Yeah.
So
And then you
I'm
have to
taking
figure out whose
vacuuming.
pube.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Is it mom or dad's pube?
Vacuuming's
And I don't
good.
want to know either one.
Bro,
Did you say vacuuming?
Yes.
vacuuming. I will take vacuuming.
Oh,
I like
That
the
was gonna
lines
be
on the floor.
mine.
I am changing my mind. I'm so sorry. I'm changing my mind. But cleaning windows, that
Okay.
I
yeah.
love it. The Windex smell, the smell of chemicals like burning my nose hairs. Sign me up.
Yeah, that's good. Good for you. He still stole my chore.
I'll take
Vacuuming.
I'll take
No,
dusting because he changed his. You can have vacuum.
Okay.
There we go.
Fine. I like vacuuming because I own a big dog. He sheds a lot. So after it accumulates for a while, you could just scoop that stuff up. You feel like a brand new house by the end of it.
That's a good point.
That is a great point.
So big news. I'm back.
Yeah, Nick McCann is in the building. say hello, Nick McCann.
Hi.
Aye.
So, hey. So this episode was supposed to be Ryan's choices, but we decided that we will set that aside for another week and do the Godzilla and Kong.
A little bit more
say
important.
it right.
A little bit more.
Godzilla versus Kong. Sorry.
Godzilla versus.
So we've been anticipating this movie for a while. Everyone has, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially Nick and Ryan, these kaiju fiends. They were really getting sweaty waiting for this one.
I didn't give a fuck about it until I saw a trailer, and then I'm like, okay, God, I want to see it. You know, I was like, and when I heard it was on HBO Max, by the way, this is not like we're not obviously not sponsored, but I'm plugging HBO Max because they are, dude. I will every time I turn my TV on, I'm like HBO Max every time, no matter what. Like,
and the quality
it's fantastic.
It's a good setup.
God, it's great.
The compression is super minimal.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
Good setup. They got lots of films. I'm digging them quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Godzilla versus Kong. People want to know our thoughts on this. They've been asking us almost every episode, what do you guys think of Kong? Who do you think is going to win, Kong or Godzilla? And we're finally here. So, Nick, do you want to give us a synopsis of the film?
Yeah. Been out of the loop so long, I forgot the right one. But I'll come up with one on the spot. So,
come up with one.
It's 5 years since Godzilla asserted dominance in the Titan world and as protector of the Earth. Now he's suddenly on the rampage for mysterious reasons. This catches the attention of Monarch, who are busy maintaining Kong on Skull Island and protecting him from Godzilla's wrath. But evil forces come along that force Monarch to take drastic measures and use Kong to fight against Godzilla while also saving the day from other nefarious corners.
Beautiful. That is perfect. That is
Right on.
just enough information to get the ball rolling, and honestly, that is the entire movie. So that is perfect.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
Who did you guys think was gonna win? Like before you went in, or who did you want to win? I guess
Neither of them.
Neither.
Well, it
You
was
wanted-
it was tough. It was tough
No,
for me.
I knew neither of them were going to win. It was going to...
Yeah,
me
me
and
too.
Chase and I both called it.
Yeah, the entire movie, actually. Literally the entire movie, which I felt really cool about, but I was a little salty. But who I
I
wanted
don't
to
want
win,
to be right.
I wanted Kong to win, dude. He's so expressive
Monkey.
and
Yeah.
monkey, exactly.
well, so is Godzilla. That's the thing.
He
Both of
is.
these
Not
monsters.
as much, though.
No,
Bro,
no.
he's
Both of
looking
these
cute
monsters
in
have
this movie.
great personalities.
He does,
They
he's
built
got
up
some-
over these movies.
I like that Godzilla like smiles, like when he's like an
Yeah.
evil smile. He's like,
I did not
what a fucking
expect that.
slimy bitch.
I didn't expect a smile. That was awesome and scary at the same time.
Dude, I think we can all agree that this movie is fucking cool. Like there's
Fuck
there's
yeah,
no
I
denying
love this
it.
movie.
The movie is
It's cool.
cool. The fight scenes are sweet. That's
Yeah.
all I can say that's positive about this movie. So I'll let you guys do the other stuff, but yeah.
Well, you better watch it, pal.
So
I-
real quick, I started this before the podcast. Really cool news. Godzilla vs. Kong is going to Roblox. Everyone needs to know that.
It's going to Roblox?
What does that mean?
That's the wording. I don't know.
Are they going to do like a viewing
There's-
in Roblox
I saw
universe?
light images of like very low res polygon monkey in Roblox. So
Okay. When
take
is
with
this
that
happening?
what you will. I don't know. That
a
was all I
game
saw.
mode.
Monkey.
Well,
Okay.
You have as much
Does anyone
information
care about
as I
Roblox
have.
anymore?
that's all I need.
Does anyone
Well.
care about Roblox anymore? Is the question.
There's a dedicated fan base.
There is. Yeah, it's like Fortnite. No one
There's
gives
some
a
young
fuck.
but
people
it's a
that are into
dedicated
it.
Yeah.
fan base.
It's a joke,
Yeah.
is what it is.
Fortnite's actually pretty good. I will say that. It's just they're cancerous.
No, it's not.
The thing is bad. You don't like
This
okay.
Stonks guy now.
I know.
Can't-
Jeez,
I can't build fast enough, and I can't
Bro.
shoot because everyone builds faster.
I'm the hot take guy on
That's
this.
because
in this
everyone's
podcast.
like a kid on energy drinks and sugar and just ADHD up the wazoo, and that's
Hey, that's me,
the
though.
base. They're
Oh, I guess that makes sense
Exactly.
why I enjoy it.
But see,
Yeah.
But
works.
yeah, Godzilla versus Kong. I've been anticipating this movie since the start of the MonsterVerse, or rather, since Kong Skull Island came out, and then it finally went into production. It finished production. got delayed several times, making me crazy and everyone else on the planet. And then we finally got it. And I'm really happy. I've seen it twice now. I've been happy every time. I am going to be happy with every subsequent watch, I think. Which is more than I could say for a lot of movies.
Good, man. I'm glad. You know what?
I'm happy for you.
genuinely glad that you guys enjoyed this, or at least I haven't heard your opinion yet, Ryan. I think Nick and or Victor and I are almost positively on the same base. But Nick, I am so pumped that you loved this movie because I know how fucking stoked you were to watch it. So yeah. I'm really glad that it's everything you wanted it to be, dude.
If Nick came back from a Godzilla film and was just like, guys, I didn't like it, that would break my heart.
I know, dude. I would cry on camera right here.
Yeah, tell that to Godzilla versus Megalon.
Yeah. Oh.
No, actually,
Hey,
no.
that
I
one's
think
fun, dude. That one's
okay.
fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Actually, real talk. I think my least favorite Godzilla movie. Well, everyone says Godzilla's Revenge. That's an easy target, though. I would say
The 99 one or 2000 wasn't that one really
no.
bad?
Godzilla's Revenge. That
one's
was from 1969.
Shut the fuck up, Victor.
My least favorite Godzilla movie, I think, would have to be Megaguirus. It's just kind of bland, and Megaguirus didn't do a whole lot for me. But the Black Hole Gun was cool, though.
I want to watch these movies. I want to watch all the OGs.
I just don't like most of the Millennium era Godzillas. They just turned to they were fun, but they turned into almost Power Ranger-esque giant robots, and I was like,
yeah,
that was big at the time.
Monsters.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit was huge. Power Ranger shit was enormous at the time. What was this? I think Ultraman was one that was really big.
Yeah, Ultraman.
Stuff like that. And,
Zone Fighter and all that.
There was that stuff was huge in the 90s. So that makes sense, or the 80s or whatever. But I've never seen any of the original Godzillas, and that's a shame. Yeah.
I'm on the same boat. I think the only one I've seen is the Mothra film with you guys, Ryan and Nick.
Oh yeah, that's right. Little history lesson. Ryan and I met through a Godzilla marathon, and he held at his house. That's how this friendship stood.
Cute, dude.
Precious.
It's good.
So cute.
Victor came along shortly after in the day there.
Yes, sir.
We just watched Godzilla movies. We watched Revenge, we watched Gigan, 2000, and I think there was one more in there. I can't remember. I think those might be the only three. One more, okay.
You watched 4? Jesus.
It was a big day.
That was a lot of movies in one day, dude.
It was a big day, and I liked my company a lot.
Good. Yeah, I did a Lord of the Rings marathon, the director's editions. I did that all in one day.
Ooh.
That was tough.
Wow.
That was good Lord of the Rings, am I right?
But to get back to the point here, I forget where we were going.
Ryan, he was going
Ryan,
to
what did you think?
Yeah, film.
You want my
Ryan.
opinion now?
Yes, please.
All right. I'm not going to please anyone with this answer. This is a very, very poorly written and made movie, but I had a blast. I laughed from beginning to end. I never stopped
I
laughing.
can always expect that from Ryan.
Everything made me laugh.
Saw Schindler's List. I was laughing the whole way through.
Whole way through. It was hilarious. Dude. Just Monkey Doomslayer when he gets the axe. We'll talk about it, but I was
thinking,
what is happening? Dude,
Kong is the Doomslayer in this movie. It's badass.
No, it's so goofy, man. He gets a rechargeable power axe. It's like,
Yeah, what the hell?
It's like a wireless charging axe.
No, it channels radiation from the core of the earth.
No, the
Was
idea
it one
is
of
cool.
Godzilla,
It's just goofy.
was it one of Godzilla, an older Godzilla's scale or something?
Scale,
Or
I think
tooth
so.
It was one of his dorsal plates or fins.
Oh.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. But here's the thing. Godzilla came out of radiation from nuclear warfare. This says it was in Hollow Earth before that because the Kongs have been around for that long. The Kongs, it's a family comedy. Kind of is at the start of the movie, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of defeats the purpose of him being. It kind of defeats the purpose of it being like a Godzilla dorsal fin, because wasn't he made from nukes? But he's in the Hollow Earth already from an older Godzilla. Did that break anything?
No. Godzilla's species in this universe lived in the Hollow Earth, and Godzilla wasn't seen until man discovered him in the ocean depths in 1954. That's when he made his presence known on Earth, and they started to kill him with nuclear weapons, or tried
which made him stronger.
So, yeah, that's the thing I don't get.
And also, in prehistoric times, when these creatures lived, the Earth was more radioactive, they said in the first Godzilla movie.
So, here's a question I had during this movie. So, I watched King of the Monsters 2 nights ago, right? Or I finished it yesterday because I had to stop in the middle because it was just so fucking god awful. Sorry, Nick. Sorry.
Well, I'll even say my opinion's lessened in the subsequent years. No, I still like the movie a lot, but I'll say it is the weakest MonsterVerse movie. It has some problems.
I'll take it.
It's fun.
Wow. But so here was my thing that really kind of it was weird for me. So Godzilla gets killed by a nuclear bomb, right? They shoot a nuke at him.
No, it's an oxygen destroyer.
Oh, was it an oxygen destroyer?
Yeah.
I thought it was a fucking nuke. They don't make any of this shit clear. I'm glad that you picked that up. I wouldn't have.
He said in the movie, an oxygen destroyer.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. But so my thing is
that was a callback too.
Gotcha. My thing is, my main problem with King of the Monsters, which follows into this movie, their main solution is like, fuck it, nuke them. Fuck it, nuke them. They're like, I don't care. Fuck it, nuke them. Nuke the city. We don't give a fuck. They're like, let's just blow up. They're like, let's drop a nuke in Boston. Fuck it. We don't give a shit. And it's like every solution they had to like getting rid of him, he's like, nuke it, nuke him, kill them both. Fuck it. And like,
when did they say nuke the monsters in Boston?
They were talking about dropping bombs in Boston that were like nuclear bombs and shit to blow them both up.
No, they weren't.
Were they not? I mean, I could have been wrong. I honestly, to be honest, Nick, I don't care. My opinion is set. Clear it up, please.
They supercharged Godzilla with a nuke because he was on death's bed, but it worked too well, and he was going to go into critical mass and explode himself.
Okay, yeah. So that's why he had to let out the oxygen, the fucking fire breath. It was like a release.
Yeah.
He was getting blue-balled by radiation, so he needed to just get it out.
He was juiced, as they said.
Yeah. But so I just
this guy's
juiced. So my thing was in this they're also like, fuck it. Maybe I got this confused because I think there was talking about nuking the city in this one too.
No, they weren't at all talking about nuking a city in this
Chase,
one.
where were you?
I don't know. I will say towards the end of the movie, when all the big climax, I was sitting up like this. I was like bouncing my knee and like clapping and shit. I was pumped at the end of this movie. Yeah. I will say that.
This was such a crazy finale. I was so happy.
Oh, God.
I was howling laughing. I was so excited.
Same.
This is a straight full tilt action movie, and it's a damn exciting one at that.
I think where this movie falls apart for me is that we don't care about the humans at all. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Well,
most of the people watching this movie don't give a fuck about the humans. They want to see Godzilla and King Kong slap down and fight it out.
And they do.
They do. No, absolutely. They
absolutely and you did too.
I did. I enjoyed it. I had a great time. But logic, why don't they send it to like one of the inhabited islands that they keep fucking finding? Why don't they just like, hey, Godzilla knows when King Kong is like on a boat, so why don't we fly him to an island, have him pound on the ground like Donkey Kong, call his ass, and then they'll fight here, and then again, if we need to get rid of him, we drop a nuke, and problem solved. We got rid of two Titans.
Thing is, though, it's not just Kong that's getting Godzilla's attention. It's Apex Cybernetics
which brings me to my other point, glasses.
All right. One thing I did not expect in this movie. Of course we're doing spoilers here. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking Mechagodzilla. I couldn't believe
Did
it.
you not see
Really?
that coming, dude?
I didn't see it coming.
A mile
I
away.
posted in the
Bro.
chat months ago, guys.
I thought Mecha King Ghidorah or something, because
That would have been sweet. Honestly,
they
that
took
could have
his
been
head.
That's what I thought was going to happen in the last movie. I thought they were
I was
teasing towards
hoping.
that.
Yeah, but no, they went Mecha
Then
Chi.
you're like, oh, they just used his skull for a DJ booth.
That was funny.
Oh,
I
and
like
the
that guy.
fact that Mechagodzilla's a fucking Gundam. Come on, dude. I was pumped for
that's
that.
pretty
I
dope.
will say this is as close to
was
a
fun.
Pacific Rim crossover as most people could
Yeah.
ask for.
I know.
That's all anyone's been asking for since that movie came out. It's like, when is Godzilla crossing over? It's like,
Guillermo's like, fuck no. Nope. Not
Was,
my,
what's
not my
the-
stinky piece
What's
of
the
garbage.
other director's name from Pacific Rim? The co-director and the dude that solely directed Pacific Rim 2? Who's that guy, DeKnight?
Night.
Stephen S. Knight.
Yeah. That dude doesn't deserve a Godzilla in his movies. Let's just say that.
Probably
Nope.
not. Definitely
Did
not.
you guys find the reveal of Mechagodzilla to be totally lame? Like there was
No.
no build up whatsoever. I
That
thought the
was-
reveal of Mechagodzilla is cool, but I was hoping there'd be some sort of like teases throughout, but there's really nothing. It's just like they get into this factory and all of a sudden, oh, there's Mechagodzilla, and that's like I was
Well,
hoping
no,
for more
I
of a
mean,
build up to that reveal.
Dude, they were dropping little clues and Easter eggs through the movie.
Because I know there's like
in
the
the
eyeball,
first factory.
There's
the
the
eye in
eyeball.
the very beginning.
Apex
Mhm.
Cybernetics.
There's
I mean,
those.
Yeah, I
There's
guess
the factory. The factory, one of the factories at the start of the movie looks very reminiscent in terms of aesthetic to a factory that was in one of the old like 70s Godzilla movies, and that's a Mechagodzilla one. And
Yeah.
then there's a bunch of I don't know what the word would be for it. There's a bunch of just like cybernetic stuff that looks like a Godzilla tail throughout the movie until it builds up.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was noticing that too. Yeah.
Dude, he fucking
You know
cuts a
what's
skull
funny?
But it's
crawler
dope.
in
It looks
half
dope,
with his
though.
laser,
That was cool.
laser
That
beam.
was
That was
that
sick.
was tight. He holds it by its arms and he's just like, meh.
This is a ruthless Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
The monsters are really ruthless in this movie.
I like
Dude,
it.
that
I
is super
the fight
cool.
The
scenes
Hollow
are
Earth sequence.
yeah, that was cool. I love the gravity
which one?
Snake
slips.
thing.
Oh, the
yeah,
bat,
dude.
the giant bat
And the
cobras
Hollow
or whatever.
Earth. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that was a total Doomslayer move. He takes one, swings it into the other, and there's blood everywhere. Fuck yeah.
Loved it. Super cool.
Doomslayer.
But I
My-
love their
was
first fight
wild.
across the on those all of the destroyers and then the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
That was
That was
that was
cool.
cool.
That was cool.
It was
I
cool.
was I was sad the whole time. I was sad.
Why?
Dude, I didn't want
guys
anyone
fucked
to
up.
die at that point.
Godzilla, dude. I mean, a fucking King Kong. He was so sad. He had such a sad little face.
Yeah,
That's true.
He was getting drowned and shit, and no one's helping him.
That
And there was that
was
one
a cool.
bitch that
I
kept
liked
calling
how
him a
that
monkey.
played out. That was a cool how that was designed.
a monkey.
Godzilla overturns the ship. Kong's drowning, and then Nathan has to swim to the release console to get him out. I thought that was a great part. That was a good moment.
And
there.
it just happens to work underwater too.
Well, shit. Of course it
I
would.
know, but still, I was like, there's no way, you know.
This
But
is 10 years into a future where giant monsters roam the earth freely.
were
I think-
electronic.
I guess that's true. There's monsters fighting giant fucking 100-foot monsters that are fighting. Of course, shit's gonna work underwater. Electricity's gonna work.
Right,
underwater.
of course.
I retract my
Well, I mean-
statement. So
Yeah, I was actually.
I mean,
you know what?
like, this movie is very much, if you dissect any of it, you're in a lot of trouble.
It's game over.
Like,
yeah,
it's game over. This,
Dude, if you
like, right
dissect
down
any
to the
monster
writing
movie,
formula,
it's gonna be in trouble.
Exactly, and that's not like, how do I say this? It's very like watching this. Like Chase and Victor have not watched like the originals for the most part.
Yeah.
no.
You and me
Yeah.
have. They hate it. We had fun with it. That
I
tells
don't
me
hate it.
that like
I don't hate
that
it.
tells
I think
me-
it's
that
stinky,
tells
but-
me
You're quick to point out
same,
flaws.
same. That tells me that this captures a feel that the 70s and 60s Godzilla's had, that you kind of
Yeah.
need that like history with it. Otherwise, you're just gonna watch it and be like,
Yeah,
I was wondering that because it does feel like something that would have been like one of the older entries. Like it's just straight up, you're here for Kong and Godzilla. There's nothing else that you need. Like, and I kind of expected that going in. I was not thinking the writing was going to be good.
and it's.
But I did appreciate that aspect where it just felt like a standalone, like a throwback.
Yeah.
That's my interpretation. It just felt like a throwback.
Kind of the same deal with King of the Monsters. Only here, I think it was a bit more of a refined and balanced experience. Because King of the Monsters, I love. It's entertaining, but it's bogged down with a lot of exposition and a pace that's a little too fast if you're not totally dialed in, and because you'll miss a lot of details. This one, though, there's more time to breathe, a lot more quiet moments, and you get some respite between the fights. And even the characters, there's a lot less of them to juggle around, and they leave a bit bigger of an impression, I felt. I liked everyone here, basically.
I like the characters in this one better than King of the Monsters. I will say that. I like Alexander Skarsgård. He was good. He was good.
Yeah, he was good. He was like trying to. He was good in that. Well, his arc is kind of just funny. He's cowardly, but he eventually steps up the plate. But he's also a guy trying to just stay out of the way and do the best he can. That's pretty neat aspect there.
Also, why was there no? It was you can tell it was probably cut and editing, or there was a reshoot. But just there was nothing for why he got a haircut, and I feel that's such a drastic visual change. There should have been something.
Yeah, his beard wasn't there anymore.
You mean like they shaved his beard?
Yeah, and his hair got buzzed off.
I did notice that.
Yeah.
Hang on.
They should have had a scene where he's like in the barber shop and
do something, like you're preparing to go somewhere, man. They're like, listen. The audience does not want this. Get to the monkey. And they're like, cut the barber shop.
Exactly. Why do we need a barber shop?
It's almost like he showed up to set one day. He's like, oh shit, that's right. It's one of my scenes, and he got a haircut the day before.
I just shaved.
Just like, fuck it.
Everything.
Is this gonna be fine? Will this be okay?
I don't think it matters because giant monster movie.
Exactly. Which that's the only way I've been able to comprehend any of these 2014's Godzilla. I love, and I love the way that they do it, and I don't think they've gotten that, for me at least. They haven't grabbed me the same way. To be fair, I saw Godzilla 2014 at the Cinerama, which is a fantastic place to see a Godzilla movie.
I'm not plugging it.
Jealous. Big jealous.
The camera work was significantly better. It was more. I think it goes along with the sign of it. Just it's more artsy, and I like artsy shit. And the fact that I know. I just need to not go into this movie thinking that I'm going to see any stellar performances. This is an animation visual effects movie, and I am a huge supporter of the effects and animation. So I'm totally in for that. But there's still that part of me that wants to grab on to like stories about humans and shit. And I just don't care about any of the characters in these movies. And specifically, like, this one was better. I will say, this one is not, I don't think it was significantly better than King of the Monsters, but it definitely was better. Because Emma in the last movie, worst character. She was terrible. And the one who had...
Good ideas, but kind of a mixed execution.
Her arc is just, we need to do this because we need to destroy the Earth so that we can build it up. That was her main thing. That was pretty much what she said. She used the forest fire analogy to, after a forest burns, then it grows up even more lifeful. And then at a certain point, she goes, "What? They're destroying the city!" And you're like, "Bitch, what the fuck did you think you was gonna do?"
No. See, again, you gotta hone in on the details. No one expected King Ghidorah to be a space alien that just shoved his way to the top of the food chain and basically mind controlled the other kaiju. That was unexpected. That wasn't supposed to happen. So that's why she had a change of heart.
Understood. I mean, I get that. That's unexpected. But don't you think you'd look into this shit before you just kind of, like that?
No.
Shit?
Who expects a monster from space?
Who expects a space alien?
I guess that's
exactly
true. But still, she's like, why does it have to be this? Why did she do that main one? Then why did she choose that one to be the first one?
Monster Zero? Zero's the first in the alphabet?
But that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. They'd go for one that they know is reliable,
biggest
like
one
Mothra
first?
Or some shit. They'd go, hey, we've been with Mothra since it was a fucking little egg. Not little egg.
She was cute as a larva.
Exactly. She was very cute as a larva. She was cute as a moth too.
She was.
And you know what? You'd think, okay, well, we'll start here. But no, they're like, no, let's do this one with the 3 heads that looks really fucking menacing. Could probably kill Godzilla, you know. And
I figure also because they examined its bioacoustics, they saw it was another alpha. That would bring some power.
There needs to be better writing because that is absolutely unclear in any of these movies that they're doing anything scientific other than the first movie, which made sense because they spent time on it and it wasn't
here's
Godzilla
my deal.
punch, you know.
Here's my deal with these movies. I saw the first Godzilla. It was a more realistic and grounded take on the monster that had mostly been in a fantasy. I mean, yeah, there was the first movie, the original one, and some other ones before that that emphasized realism. How would a giant monster play out in an actual society? So that was the hook of the first one for me. And in Kong Skull Island, kind of similar, injecting that myth back into the reality that was mankind at the end of the Vietnam War and so forth. And then everything started to get more fantastical with King of the Monsters and now versus Kong. So
I think actually Kong was when shit started to change. Because Kong was I don't know what the hell. I was in it. First off, I want to say that like I'm not a big fan. I don't think it's a great movie, but dude, when man is in the Triceratops skull and he's got the
50 cal,
dude, that's sweet. And then Tom Hiddleston with the fucking mask on and he's cutting like bat birds with like a katana like it's 300. I'm into it.
Yeah.
The thing is with that, they committed to that. They kept to that theme the entire movie. This, they flip back and forth between it. So I'm
what
like...
helps too is Kong has like a very distinct visual style. So
yeah.
Like, I think that helps too with the enjoyment, like especially with 2014 Godzilla, because you have this very atmospheric, grounded tone, whereas like King of the Monsters and this one, it's very like... There isn't like a distinctive feel to the film. It's just kind of like...
They're trying... I feel like they're trying to do an MCU where they're trying to make it serious and humorful, but they're just not. The writers are not able to do that correctly.
Right, it's not committed.
I don't think so. You know, and that's fine. Not every movie needs to be a fucking Marvel movie. Like,
it does suck when it's
do
like,
your own thing. You know?
I mean,
when you can tell that
you said they're doing a
not committed to that
Marvel.
element.
We're fourth into this monster verse. They're kind of doing a Marvel right now.
I mean, they're not doing it very successfully, money wise. If you look at it,
money wise, also.
You know?
What it is? The first Godzilla was avant-garde. It was unlike any blockbuster. It twisted tropes on their heads, and people didn't like that. So people wanted more monsters.
I think people loved it.
They did love it, but
know?
a lot of people like to nitpick.
The common
they cut
consensus
away too
amongst
quick.
Godzilla fans was there was like 8 minutes and 2.5 hours, and they were not happy.
Right.
Okay, I will say that's probably, I would be pissed too if I'm a huge Godzilla fan and I only get.
It is a good movie though.
Even
There's
I
just
liked
no
it.
Godzilla.
Right.
I do like the reveal of Godzilla in that movie. How we don't really see him fully until he's just like, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Yeah. You know what I loved in this movie, Godzilla vs. Kong? I love seeing Godzilla destroying shit. He's actually doing it in this movie now. He's on the rampage. He's destroying buildings. He's liberal with that atomic breath.
Yeah,
I was quite surprised.
Oh, yeah. That first attack scene where he's destroying that little facility.
Pensacola, Florida.
Just hear the music playing, and he's just...
He's swatting at jet planes. He's blowing up buildings.
That was so...
That was the shit.
That was cool.
And see, here's the funny thing, though. It was, again, points to the... not the original theme of Godzilla, where it's like, atomic bombs are bad, and we have a message. It's back to the, like, fun old Godzilla of, like, look at him blow up the building. I'm fine with that. But, like, that is the message of this movie. It's like... We have a gorilla the size of a building with a rechargeable axe. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
And
at that certain point, I was like, when he's running from Godzilla and he's grabbing onto skyscrapers and like, I was like, okay, Fine,
Dude,
fine. I'll give up my brain for a couple minutes. You know?
Dude, that felt actually dangerous. When Godzilla was chasing Kong, and he was just like an attack dog. He was going in, and he's trying to get to the throat. It was so gnarly.
For sure.
So fun.
Oh yeah, and he does like the rest WWE move. He jumps off the building and just
so
elbows him.
Yeah.
I love it.
Totally.
I love the
Then he does the rain
deflecting
of
with
fire move with the battle axe.
Yep, I love that. That was sweet.
That's the kind of movie it is. You look back on parts and you just reenact them with your friends. It's all in good fun.
Yeah, it just kind of sucks you have to go through like an hour and a half of like shitty writing and like stuff
It's
you don't
not that
care about
shitty.
just
What's
to
so
get to
shitty
like
about
just to
it?
get to like 15 minutes of like good stuff.
And Millie Bobby Brown just turning. She barely said anything in this movie. She just walked into places.
No, she did. She said stuff. I like that. I
Walking
like.
around and turning.
Well, hold on.
That's
I
what
like.
she did. She
Hang
wanted
on,
to-
hang on. I like she was back. I like she got a little more to do in this movie. She's chasing a conspiracy and hunting down clues and everything. And what's his name? He's the detective from Child's Play, Brian Tyree Henry,
The podcast guy.
the podcast guy. I liked him a lot.
I liked him.
Yeah.
He had very genuine humor about him, and he was
Dude.
He felt useful.
was that little side that sidekick of Millie Bobby Brown, was he in the last film?
No.
No, he was in
Because
Deadpool.
I was
who
like,
was that?
He's just I know he's just like I'm a expert hacker. I can hack into satellite, but
He's
like
he's a high
no
school friend
context
with a really cool van.
right, he's a high school friend that can
From
hack
New
into the
Zealand?
satellites. It's just like,
Like,
from
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Julian Dennison is his name.
He was in that
He was
Hunt
in
of the Wilder People. Hunt of the
Wilder
Wilder
People.
Wilder People.
He's in Deadpool too.
with the podcast guy, a line that I didn't normally I don't laugh at like jokes that are written because I'm just like that's so forced, please. But a line that did get me was the podcast guy. They're going down. He's like, "How deep does this elevator go?" And he's like, "To hell." And I was like, "Okay." Just completely blow this kid's
When he
spirits.
sabotages
That's so
the
funny.
control board. Great, now I have to die, and it's over.
Yeah, I the scene where he walks into like the building that's like or like the containment area and it's silent and he's just like ah. That shit.
That was great.
Dude, that everyone would do that in a
Yes,
scenario.
yes.
If someone is oblivious to the life or death situation they're in,
Yeah.
that's absolutely what you do. And they're like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Sorry, I couldn't help it. I could not help it." Like,
Oh my god, it's a Robo Godzilla.
no, it's a Mega Godzilla.
It's Mega Godzilla.
Yeah,
Megalodon.
this goofy
Get
little
Jason
accent.
Statham in there. It's Megalodon.
No,
I would
it's not Godzilla. It's Mecha Godzilla. No.
I would love if that kid comes out in an interview and it turns out he's British. I would be so happy if he was British. Just like
He is
pull the
oh
blinds
the
on
the hacker
everyone.
kid. He's New Zealand. He's from New
Yeah.
Zealand.
But if he's just
But
fake,
he
would
had
be
a British
funny,
accent.
though.
Oh okay.
If he was actually British and just putting that on for the movie for no reason,
I'll
I
give
would
this 5
appreciate
stars.
that.
We also got Kyle Chandler back from King of the Monsters. He was my favorite character in that movie. That was my disappointment with the human characters. I would have loved to see.
wait, he was in this movie?
Yeah, you
Kyle
yeah.
Chandler?
Yeah.
Bro, where were you?
Yeah. So for one thing, he's not in the movie much. That's kind of a bummer. And then more of a bummer,
Yeah, he
I would
really
have loved to have them explore Maddie and Mark, rebuild the relationship as a father and daughter after the last movie. I thought that had potential there, but they didn't do anything with it. They had 2 dialogue scenes together and 1 phone call scene, barely. And that let me down because I like those characters a lot. They could have done something with them.
Chase is like,
I didn't know he was in this fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, he was
Well,
in
he
this
was only there for a couple
movie. Do
scenes,
you have
so-
eyeballs?
I guess not. I must have missed it. I blacked out during the human parts, to be honest. I'm just like,
How much?
and then as soon as the monkey comes on, I'm like,
What were you drunk?
The podcast guy and the kids, I was totally checked out. I'm like, please get back to the things I want. I want the little girl that speaks sign language to Kong.
oh,
I want monkey and I want lizard. I want all of
so
that.
cute. And he does
That's
this.
precious.
He does this for home. Oh, bro, I would have. Oh, this is home. This, I was almost crying.
No,
I was
you're not
not
doing it
even
right,
lying.
Chase.
It's this.
I'm just watching it like,
No, home. Home.
Am I
That's sign.
dragging or am I tapping?
Tapping.
Okay, like this.
Home.
Home. Home.
Ryan, stop.
What did you do? What did you do?
Eat that.
Ryan, how dare you?
But yeah, I
yeah.
love,
What's
I love
her
that.
face? Kaylee Hoddle. I liked her a lot. The scenes
She
where
has some
she
good
talks
lines.
to Kong.
She has some
Very
good
cute.
lines.
Very adorable.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
I did
Ryan,
like.
were you
I,
disappointed? Because I remember before the movie came out, you're like, if there's a fucking child who is connected to Godzilla or to Kong, I'm done.
Yeah,
It's over.
I remember.
Can
that.
it really be a
disappointed.
Kong movie if there isn't
she
a
didn't
person?
control him. That's the good
That's
part.
true.
She didn't
She was
control
very
him.
like.
I was bummed that she could like persuade this gorilla. I was like, why? When was that established?
That's the thing. Like, who the hell? Who is she? Why?
That's a
Background
great thing,
detail.
though.
You could kind.
But like, see, here's the problem. Like, I'm more forgiving with it because I'm like, Mothra and the old movies had the twins that would sing to her,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that makes sense to me. But then I'm like, but there's no context to it.
That's the thing. She's just kind of there, and you're like, you're supposed to accept it. I mean, I guess you're supposed to, but like, it would be nice to like get a little bit more information on who this person is.
Sure,
I would
but I
like
still like the
something.
dynamic regardless. And she was a decent character.
She, to
Same
be
with-
honest,
Agreed.
she
I'll
was
tell you
my
this.
favorite.
Yeah,
I liked her more
same
than
with
Millie
the-
Bobby Brown.
For sure.
Way more.
Yeah. She,
Way more.
I like them equal. Rebecca Hall, Dr. Andrews, she did a great job too.
I like her.
Oh, also the villains are kind of are really lackluster.
Bro,
And
that was some.
The CEO.
that's Walter Simmons, Damien Bashir,
Well, he wasn't even really a villain. He was barely a villain, right?
because he had little screen time and faint motivation.
I mean, he just wanted to take down Godzilla. Like, that's a pretty reasonable.
Well, he wanted
motivation.
to create a defense for the
He wanted his own alpha that he controlled.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Damien Bashir, he's a great actor. Senior Bob from The Hateful Eight, the guy's great.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Oh.
But no, yeah, but they kind of wasted him a
A
little.
little bit. A little bit.
But it's still good to see him. He's like a damn handsome older Mexican gentleman.
Yeah,
if
dude.
if I may
dude's-
say so.
Dude's drop dead sexy. Not gonna lie.
Fuck.
Boom.
Fuck.
I like the fact that I like that Serizawa's son was in it. That was kind of cool.
Was it Serizawa?
Yeah,
Yes.
it
Is
was
that-
Ren. So Serizawa in the last two Godzilla
Yeah.
movies was like Godzilla's like #1 fan. Was like, this is my boy.
I
I know everything
appreciated
about
that.
him. You know. But the fact that they made him a villain though, and for no explanation, and like there's no reflection
Yes!
on the fact
Wait,
that
Yes!
his dad.
Serizawa, is that Ken Watanabe?
Yes.
Watanabe.
Watanabe?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Wait. What?
Yeah.
Who's the actor that plays him?
Shen Oguri.
Shun
Oguri.
Yeah, I was like,
Oguri?
I thought
Shen
he was
Oguri?
going to be a supporter and like help them
Yeah.
like plan things around Godzilla, and then he's like in King Ghidorah's skull having a seizure, and I'm like, no, that's incorrect.
Well, or
Why did
also
that happen?
just give him like, or have that moment where someone comes in and is like, "What would your father think? What would you know?" And you know,
Yeah.
if that was the way that they shut it down by him
Bro.
deciding that my father would be disappointed in me by doing this, that would make the movie, I feel, better. You know?
Okay,
Chase,
yeah.
Something.
That's way
thought it
too
was-
much thought.
Wait,
way too
okay,
much.
that is a
gotta tone it
letdown.
down.
That's his son? Oh,
That's his son.
man.
Yeah, man.
They could have done so much there.
I'm saying they could have.
This is the writing. It's like I could gauge what time it was based on what was happening in the story. I'm like, oh, this is very clearly the beginning of Act 2 because he basically spelled it out. And I'm like, so we're this many minutes into the movie. And then I gauged it and I'm like, so there's this much left. And I could like see each thing play out. And I'm like, that's fine. But it looked like they took like first draft things.
Yeah.
I was
At
like,
the end of the Act 3, they're like, this is when the superheroes get together and fight. Like in Glass. Remember that?
I never saw Glass, you punks. You just ruined it for me. I was never gonna watch it, to be honest.
don't. Good.
Well, okay, yeah, that's a big bummer. I thought they said another name, but how would you do Serizawa like
I'm
that?
Nick,
sick.
you kind of have to. You have to hate the film.
Yeah, you
hate
gotta
it.
hate
I'm
it.
not hating the film. I'm just hating that part.
I will say that I love the
Dr. Serizawa was the highlight character of this series.
I agree.
And we couldn't. He's gone now. So what do we do?
Exactly. We get his shitty ass son who comes in and he goes, "Yeah, I know how to do this Gundam shit." And then he gets in the Gundam. His mental link, like in fucking Pacific Rim, doesn't work out, so he gets fried and he dies. And then
get in the robot, Shinji.
and now he's done.
That's a shame. Although I did like, there's the part where he's getting tased by the thing, and you see the lightning travel up the cables, and you can hear Ghidorah's roar faintly. That was a good detail.
That was cool.
It's like a DJ
that's like Ghidorah's
set.
taking over Mechagodzilla. His consciousness still exists in the DNA. That was cool.
That's kind of cool.
That made
I fuck
me
with that.
happy.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
But let's get back to the
what do
monster
you guys-
fights. Holy shit!
They were good fights. What did you
Good
guys
ass
think
fights.
of the... Do you want to talk about the big thing yet, about who won, who lost? Or do you want to save that
Let's
for
wait.
a bit later?
Let's wait a little bit. Yeah.
So daytime fights, no weather effects, no atmospheric darkness.
Finally.
As much as I like it, I'm glad it happened here. It felt right. It felt needed, and
It was.
It looks great. It looks fantastic.
It looks so good.
And also, would it be an Adam Wingard movie without neon in it? Neon lighting?
Who the
I
fuck
wish
is
it
Adam
weren't
Wingard?
an Adam Wingard movie. I wish it weren't.
What?
Who is this guy?
Adam Wingard, he directed You're Next and The Guest, two very excellent thrillers.
Oh yes,
They-
and a perfect fit for a Godzilla film. Absolutely, he shows big budget talents in those two films.
Dude, yeah.
Don't
come
forget
on,
the Blair Witch
look at the
reboot
movie. It
and
look-
Death
What
Note.
looks
about...
great.
I was going to say, what about... Didn't he do Death Note?
Yeah, and Blair Witch
Perfect
3.
fit.
I remember.
Perfect for Godzilla.
I remember Death Note.
No, I watched The Guest recently again. It's one of my favorites, and I was reminded between that and this movie how much I love Adam Wingard and how much I want him to thrive as a filmmaker. I think he's got talent.
Well, he's thriving now, dude. He's got Godzilla under his belt.
Yeah, and he's doing a Face Off sequel now.
That's right.
And he's doing the
Huh?
Thundercats movie.
Jesus Christ, my man's busy.
Yeah.
Well, I
Bro.
mean,
A
This
Thundercats
isn't-
movie?
Also, neon lighting and also neon lighting and occasional synth music. There was like one
Oh.
part of synth music.
music was
was driving
great.
in
way,
the van.
The
that-
music was great. So
I love the
neon
music,
lighting and
yeah.
the colors. Godzilla is now considered a bi icon. He's a bisexual icon for in the LGBTQ
The blue,
community.
the blue and purple, or blue and
He's-
pink, blue, pink,
He
and white.
joins the LGBT community like Pennywise and
I was
Babadook.
gonna say.
Did the
The-
LGBT
Yep.
community take the patent on neon lighting?
Yes.
They took
It's a long story,
Godzilla.
Nick.
That sucks.
Why does that suck?
Because neon lighting doesn't have to be exclusive.
First episode, Nick's back and we're done. We're canceled.
It's not about gender.
Let's move on.
It's about Godzilla. Speaking of,
about-
what did
yeah.
you guys think of the Hollow Earth stuff?
I loved
Dope.
it.
Yeah,
What?
I thought it was really, really cool. I like that in King of the Monsters, Godzilla had, it was like a temple of like humans that would worship him down there, and for Kong, it was the Kongs, just family household. It was just the Kongs built their own thing. I thought that was really cool, dude. Okay, small thing. It didn't happen. I'm not complaining. When Kong put his hand to the door, where if it started glowing and the door opened by itself, I was gonna throw one tomato. I was like,
I
please
thought it
don't.
was. Yeah.
I thought it was going to.
That'd just be silly.
Yeah.
But then it did the Dark Souls
just-
door opening animation. I was like, there you go.
so I do
Adam
want to
Wingard gamer.
I do want to mention
Confirmed.
that you brought up that he had that Godzilla had some worshipers in the city underwater. Going back to my nuclear thing, they just blew that shit up. They didn't like maybe
Dude,
we
it's
should, like,
gone.
You know,
They had
study it or like take pictures or something. They're like, no, fuck it, nuke it, get it out of here.
Right.
And if
Don't
I
you
remember, didn't
don't
they
you remember
put it like
Rick
by
from
his
the last
face?
movie?
They're
He
like, here we
records
go.
everything. They had cameras going on that stuff. They got documentation. It's
I don't
fine.
know, man. I don't
It's
know.
fine.
I don't know. They
Am
blew
I the
up
only one that
Atlantis.
actually pays
Atlantis is
attention to these
dead.
movies?
They
Goodbye.
destroyed Atlantis. This movie is so
Cool.
interesting. It is cool. I will give it. It's a cool movie. I enjoyed the Journey to the Center of the Earth stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the Hollow Earth felt very Jules Verne, very throwback. That kind of old school science fiction.
Yeah, like yeah,
cool to
like
see it.
50s science fiction stuff.
The part where Kong touches the rock and gets a feel for the gravity of the place,
That was
and
cool.
then he starts floating up.
That was cool.
I also like the heave
Precious
vehicles.
monkey.
That felt straight
Those are
out of the
sick.
old movies.
I thought those were going to turn. I thought that was going to be Mechagodzilla's head. I thought it was going to turn into a part
Like
of him.
Voltron.
I thought
Like
so, too, a
Voltron,
little bit.
yeah, or like the fucking Megazords from Power Rangers. At this point, I would expect it, you know.
Right.
So I'm like
Yeah.
disappointed that
Dude,
it didn't
anything
happen
is
now.
possible.
Yeah. No, I like the heave vehicles, very throwback. I like the Argo from King of the Monsters more, I think, but those were very cool vehicles. I was confused, so Aiza Gonzalez's character is making the break for the surface, and then
She's
she
fucking hot.
is hot as shit, but she was stupid right there.
She sucks, yeah.
Bro, I'm so glad she got
fucking
just.
yeah,
That was cool.
And he's just like,
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
She
he
was very
shakes
much
his
a throwaway
hand.
villain.
Details.
which
love
they
it.
literally did.
But the fact she fired at all, the guy, you had so much room to drive around him, and you had to shoot him, get his attention, so he could do that.
The writers like we gotta kill him somehow. How do we do this? How do we get his attention and shoot him? It's like, you know how cool it would have been? I thought they were gonna go through the tunnel, and then there's just gonna be this blue light at the end. They're like, what's that? And then Godzilla just
That
would've
would have
been
been
sweet.
so cool. That would have been cool. But still, Kong crushing it, it's still kind of amusing. He shakes his hand
Yeah.
afterwards.
I gotta.
I like that. I like that. So I have another guess connection that I want to get your guys' opinion on. So me, I'm a big 2005 King Kong fan. Like
Remake.
top five favorite movies of all time for
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it's the movie that made me want to make movies. So it's very near and dear to my heart. It's very important to me. How do you feel that King Kong, in his development with these two films, how do you feel that he is? Do you like this Kong better, or do you like 2005 Kong better? It's different worlds, I know that, but like just his mannerisms and stuff.
I think they did just as fine of a job. Again, withholding the different worlds, the character is approached differently.
Mm-hmm.
They carved their own path for these two movies, and it's just a different beast. They went for more, in Peter Jackson's remake, they went for more realism in his mannerisms and movements, like an actual gorilla would act.
Which is he is still one of the greatest like CG creations. Like still,
absolutely.
it looks fucking fantastic. Animation is amazing.
Yeah, and then Legendary's King Kong, he's just as empathetic of a character. They just, even when they twist the tropes on their head, you still feel for this monster. I was reading an interview about what Adam Wingard's inspiration was for Kong. So in Skull Island, he said he was like Clint Eastwood in The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. And in this movie, and in this movie, he's like Clint Eastwood in The Unforgiven. He's a gunfighter without a fight, and he's just kind of
Clint Eastwood's the reference.
That seems odd.
Well, Kong is kind of like William Money a little bit. He's a gunfighter without a fight, and he's just kind of left to just be bored and sulk in his old age without much to do.
Bro,
And
do I
then-
like him less because I know that? Uh-oh.
Oh, I like it. Who the fuck doesn't like Clint Eastwood?
That's so strange.
Interesting.
I
I
like
liked
Clint
it.
Eastwood,
It worked for me.
but I don't know. I don't.
Get off my lawn, lizard.
For me, I will say if if they were going for Clint Eastwood, I think they missed the mark in my opinion. But that's just me. I don't get a lot of Clint Eastwood from this
He's a
King
bit too
Kong at
furry.
all. I get like
A bit too tall, you know?
fuck
Too
up,
furry.
Victor.
You dense MFer.
He's too hairy. Oh man,
Nick dead.
Nick did.
That's okay.
You killed me, Vic.
He did.
Sorry, dude.
This movie, I was excited for this, and I think my expectations going into the movie were about equal from afterwards watching the movie. Like I said, I called the entire movie about 4 months ago. And everything that happened in this movie, I almost to a T I called from watching one trailer. The only thing I didn't get was that, and this is a segue. The thing that I didn't get was I thought it was gonna be a tie, but it's very clear that Godzilla won this fight.
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
it is very clear that you know, and I think it's more of it comes off more of and I like at the end after they had their fight that it's not a I'm gonna kill you, it's like, damn bro, you put up a good ass fight. Like good shit. Like, I'm out of here. I'll leave you do your thing, I'll go do mine, we're all good here, let's coexist. And he's like, but no, King Kong was like, all right bro, damn, chill. Like, you win.
Yeah.
Like, chill, dude.
Yeah.
I don't see it as
that
a
is
forfeit.
exactly what happened, Nick. Like,
That is
literally
what happened.
exactly
I
what
don't
happened.
think so.
Godzilla won.
Yeah, he was scratching his chest and put his foot on his chest, and he's like, okay. And then Godzilla let him up.
He
No, but
literally
then
had to tap
they
out because he
destroyed
like
Mechagodzilla
dislocated his
together.
shoulder.
Okay, the dislocated shoulder thing, that was fucking awesome.
I thought that was
Nice-
cool. I thought it was cool.
That was nice Lethal Weapon 2 reference.
He
of all
fucking
places.
slams it against a building, dude.
It's a
Dude, that was so
it's a Lethal
funny.
Weapon 2 reference. It's
Oh,
so
that's.
great.
I was wondering what the Lethal Weapon 2 reference was. Someone else had mentioned that.
No, yeah, Mel Gibson dislocates his shoulder twice in that movie. It's hilarious.
Oh, man.
But I don't know. I don't see it as a straight victory so much.
How?
I guess not straight victory. But
Yeah, dude. How? I guess it wasn't. It was because if it was a straight victory, one of them would be dead.
Not
I
even
feel.
that.
So-
It's Kong willingly said, "I'm done fighting." It's not.
He
relinquishing
loses.
No,
victory, it's
he
just
was
being
defeated,
done.
dude.
He was
Godzilla's
defeated.
foot is on
He
him.
literally said,
and he
"I'm done."
growled at him to be like,
said-
"I am alpha," and King Kong's just like, "Fine," and Godzilla
Yeah.
left. He's
Then-
like, "You're not even worth like killing. You are beneath me. I
Yeah.
leave."
Then there was
Bye.
another. Then
Bye
there
bye,
was another
sweaty.
fight, and they tag teamed that,
Yeah.
and Godzilla still wanted to throw down with him, and Kong
And,
then
and
still.
King Kong was
and
like,
then
"No,
King Kong dropped
not
his
doing
axe
this."
because he's like, "You win,
Yeah.
bro. You win." That's what I'm
But
saying.
it's
He's
not
like,
even
"There's no
admitting
fight
defeat.
here."
It's not even admitting defeat. It's just like a no comment sort of thing.
No, I don't know, dude. If you go into
Godzilla
a fight,
looked and
if you
growled
go
at
into
him too. Adam Wingard literally said there is one winner, and Godzilla won it.
yeah.
Fine, but still, I didn't see it quite that way.
Here's my
I don't know how.
You go into a boxing ring, right? You're in a boxing match. You get your ass beat for the first 6 rounds, and you get down, and then you somehow get back up,
I
and
know
then
how
you get back
boxing
into
match
it,
works.
and then you stand in. Guy's there, and he's like, "Yeah, let's go," and the guy's like, "You know what? I don't even want to do this." That's accepting defeat. That's losing.
Fine,
That is being
whatever.
defeated.
I
I'm
know
just
how
saying. I'm
boxing
just
match
saying.
works, for God's sakes.
I'm just
If they're
saying.
throwing down, dude, if they're throwing down their people, they're throwing down the streets. Dude gets whooped and then is like stood on by the other guy. That's a victory.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
later,
you win.
after getting said butt whooped, comes back with his axe and he's like, "Never mind." The guy's like, "Yeah, bye," and then he leaves.
And dips. It's
That's
it's
the victor.
but I do think
That's the winner
I
right there.
do think there is a mutual respect thing there. I do
For
think
sure.
That's
it's
what
a,
I guess that's what I'm trying
yeah.
to say. It's a mutual respect thing. Then the two probably wouldn't
There
see it
is.
as victory loss. It's just a respect.
I think yeah. Because like I
get
said,
that.
if it was win or loser, someone would be dead.
Someone would be dead or
Because
Kong would
severely
be dead,
wounded.
dude.
Kong would be dead because if
Kong
Kong
would
tried
be
to fight
dead.
him right then, Godzilla would kill him for sure. So that's
Dude,
my
when he
thing.
stood on him, he had the chance to atomic breath his
To kill him.
face and melt his head. And he
Not
didn't take it.
quite. I don't think he did because he threw the axe into his mouth and that discharged a lot of nuclear energy. And he wasn't throwing his breath afterwards. That's why he was going rabid attack dog on him in that
Okay,
moment.
I could see that.
So
I
he
could see
literally
that, yeah.
would have eaten his head.
Yeah, he could have bitten his neck and like
It
snapped
would
it.
have
And
taken
shit.
some effort.
I mean, the
Godzilla-
effort could have been
you
done.
saying
easily.
Godzilla's
That's
weak?
He
what I'm
could have
saying.
put the
Seeing
screenwriters.
Godzilla
I ain't
doesn't
saying
have
he's
the
weak. I'd
effort.
say it take time. I'm saying it would take time. The
would do
Muto's
it.
head was more fragile than Kong's head. Muscle
But-
mass.
What I'm saying is I think the ending fight, the fight in Hong Kong is so cool. Hong Kong with King Kong and Godzilla. That was dope. I liked the fact that he was grabbing onto buildings and shit. He only had like 3 buildings that he was big enough to grab onto though, or small enough to grab onto. So, which I thought was I was like, this is cool, but like if he was like a little bit smaller, he might have been able to do it, but you know, whatever.
Why do you think they introduced him in 1973?
Exactly. Well, and also 1973, he was only like 25 feet, 30 feet tall.
No, he's 100 feet tall.
No,
Like
it's not.
6'4".
He picks her up. He picks him. He's 6'4". He holds her in his hand like this.
Yeah,
that's not a 50. That's not a 100-foot tall monster with his
No,
hands.
No, she's as big as the palm, and if he was 25 feet, she'd be peeking out from the hand, from the, like legs and head. You know what I mean? You've seen the remake.
I have seen the remake. The remake is the remake is different. I agree, but that's just me nitpicking about this.
No, it's not even. It's just a scaling thing. We have 2 clear references
just a
for
logistics
scaling. The evidence is there. I love it when you shove the axe down his throat. That's a very cool callback. I love it.
That was good.
It made me laugh. I also love he baited him by throwing a crane behind him and then jumping on
That
him.
was so cool to
That
play with
was
his
cool.
intelligence. I love that.
Yeah.
So
Stupid
cool.
dumb lizard brain.
Stupid lizard. Salamander.
I like it in the. I just
So,
like.
it
his-
sounds
actually,
like you wanted Kong to win.
I'm not sure. I love both monsters. It's tough to pick.
Look at that
one.
grin. You wanted Kong to win, bro.
You want a Kong to
No,
win?
no,
Look
no,
at
no.
you.
I really was
You
indifferent
goofball.
because I love both of these monsters and they built them up really well over the course of these movies and they were so likable.
He was so
So I was-
sympathetic in this one. Kong was. Whoa.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. No, I liked this introductory scene in the opening. He wakes up,
Oh
he
my
yawns.
word.
Scratches
the
his ass.
Kongs.
I was not expecting that whatsoever.
I love the music
Taking a
drops
shower,
in this movie.
scratching his
They're-
ass. Like, what is this, Shrek?
Bro.
Like
that
that
was
will
so
wear
funny
out.
though. And the music drops, they were so great. I thought it was funny.
I do appreciate the scenes where they have like actual like copywritten music playing over King Kong.
It was so
Josie made
ridiculous.
this comment. She's like, "What if like?" She's like, "What if Kong just shows up with like a margarita?" I'm like, what? Yeah. After this
I
fight,
wouldn't
Kong
doubt
shows
it.
up with like a fucking with like a floral shirt on and a margarita and like sunglasses, just feet up on like in Hawaii or some
Honestly,
shit.
after the tone of that first scene, I was like, I would expect that, honestly.
That would have been so
Giant
fucking funny,
margarita.
dude.
It's fun. It's fun until the daddy takes the T-bird away.
Yes.
Yeah. When I saw
you go.
Kong sitting on a throne with like LED lights encircling him as Godzilla and he had an axe, I was like, dude, a margarita? That might be believable.
I also
Big
called
old
the throne
martini
too.
glass or a just nice
Or
big
stein
old
of
whiskey
beer.
or something. Anything,
As soon
dude.
as I saw the doors, I'm like, oh, he's gonna push that open and there's gonna be a fucking throne room. I guarantee it.
It's
Dude,
the monkey
Monster
throne.
room. It's awesome.
It is cool. My thing is I guessed this whole movie. I could have written this entire movie with not a lot of effort.
You know what my
There's
idea
two
was
things
big
I
for-
did
balls.
get wrong. I predicted the whole movie as well, but there are two things I got wrong. One, I thought it was going to be Mecha King Ghidorah because the head was
Okay.
sold at the end
The
of
head.
King of the Monsters. That I got wrong. But I was like, it's so niche. Of course they took Mecha Godzilla. They wouldn't take the niche one if they can take like the mainstream one. And
True.
a line did not happen. I thought that there was going to be some line about whoever wins, like, oh, Godzilla won. No, humanity won. I was waiting for that the whole movie, and it never happened. I was like, thank
Oh,
God.
man.
I was waiting for someone to go on like a scientific mumbo lingo rant and for another character to go, English, please.
God,
No,
I-
that's King of the Monsters.
Yeah, exactly.
what
he
is
just say
so wrong
gonorrhea?
though with predictability? That's my question.
What's that?
There's nothing
Huh?
wrong with it.
What's
but
so wrong with predictability?
It's just boring
Nothing
to me.
really.
Like, I would rather see
Yeah.
something I wasn't expecting, because then I'm like, wow, like the monkey axe. That was crazy. I wasn't expecting
was
that.
Yeah, well,
I wish they
there
wouldn't
could
have
be
shown
good
that in the theater,
predictability.
in
There's
the
good
trailers.
bits of predictability
Yeah.
at times.
I didn't see it.
But you didn't see it in the trailers?
No, I didn't want to watch it. Well, I'm watching it like this. So I was like, no spoilers, please.
Hey, I'm glad, because that would have been, that was, I agree. If they didn't show the axe and they like brought it up and they're like, whoa, what the fuck? He gets a weapon? That's sweet.
It's still cool though.
It is. No, it
I wish
absolutely
he
is
dual
still
wield SMGs.
The next one.
Fucking give him a plasma rifle.
cool. Dude, I'm
Kong
saying
is
he looks like a
Solid
brute
Snake.
from Halo 3, just looks exactly like a brute.
Remember the basics of CQC.
Gets
Exactly.
a gravity hammer in the
Good
next
grief.
movie.
They just start
Yeah.
calling him Tartarus.
Not another word.
But I think that this is my favorite of the three.
You mean 4?
Of the three, there's Godzilla 2014 is not going to beat this, or this didn't get beat by 2014 Godzilla.
But it's still, there's 4 movies.
Okay, so
Which
this is
is
number
it?
2, because there's Kong Skull Island is technically a
Right.
part of the
Okay.
of this monster cinematic universe.
Monsterverse. It's called the
Wait,
Monsterverse.
Monsterverse, cool.
You know, when this movie ended, you know, I did think it was quite cool, and I loved a lot of those fight scenes were pretty cool. But at the end of it, I was just like, what was the point of that? Because I felt like much more was at stake and much more was happening in the last film. I feel like King of the Monsters should have been the last one. You have like all of this shit going on, but in this one, it felt very like that's it.
Well,
I don't know.
Dude, after
Kong
the
and Godzilla
stakes
5.
of
What do you
Ghidorah,
want?
nothing touches it.
Exactly. This
Yeah.
doesn't feel like this should be the last film in the franchise.
Well, if it does well, we might get more movies.
And that's what's interesting
honestly-
too. It's like, yeah, because there was like no end credit scene, which you kind of just expect. Like, I'm not.
That
Yeah.
dude, I waited
Marvel's
for it.
fucking
I was shocked.
ruined us with that. But I read that Wingard, I guess they had shot an after credit scene, but used it in the movie.
Good. Okay,
It's-
probably the monkey montage or something.
Monkey
But I
Monster.
don't. Might have been the first. I don't know when that would have been. Like, when could you have used an end credit scene?
Did he say what the scene was?
No, there's there's a little interview about it, but I don't think he specified which scene. He just said they shot it and
Weird.
probably used it. I don't know what that could have even been.
I would like to see what would I think would be cool, which is not going to happen, but I would like to see some sort of mech like thing introduced into this, done well. Like, if we're going to go full balls to the wall, like this movie is and I know we have differences of opinions on this, but for me this movie was a brainless action film, which I'm completely supportive. I'm in for it. I like the action. I just need to, I need to go into these movies thinking I'm watching a Fast and Furious movie where they're gonna spit mumbo
Can you use
jumbo
a
at
different
me
example.
that doesn't make any fucking sense, and then I'm gonna go, that was cool. They jumped a car through a building, or that was cool. This guy punched his face through a fucking Godzilla punched King Kong through a boat. That's cool.
I mean,
that's how I need to do it. But
Ryan, like, I guess you could maybe have a bit more of an unbiased opinion, but like the way we're supposed to like approach this film is it's a brainless action blockbuster. Is that the same way you would approach like the earlier entries? Like, is that the same like mindset you have going into an older Godzilla film?
Those are hilarious movies. The dubs are awful. The acting is awful. And it's just people in rubber suits attacking each other. It's just fun. Like,
Of course.
I didn't watch those to have, like... I didn't watch those for, like, 2014 Godzilla experience. I watched those for, like...
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, I'm gonna have some yucks. I'm gonna watch this man in this rubber suit throw this other man across the room. That was,
Pure
like, the
entertainment.
goal.
yeah,
Like, pure entertainment.
yeah,
and
they
that's
were
fine.
my
A popcorn blockbuster.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
What's
okay.
a yuck?
Just like laughing.
Oh,
oh, like a yuck. Gotcha, like a goofy yuck, right?
You have one of those.
right. No, to an well, I could still answer this unbiased, Victor.
Sure.
Some of those Godzilla movies are kind of mindless. Once they started aiming them at children, bringing aliens in, and doing experimental things,
Yeah,
yeah, of course they got mindless. But they even got more mindless when the dubs were brought in, and sometimes those movies had a lot more going on when they weren't dubbed. And when you watch the original Japanese versions, they were a lot more sophisticated. the direction was better communicated and the characters were a little more better realized. So some of them, yeah, they're more intelligent than others, but largely, yeah, you can go into them as mindless monster movies.
Yeah, I guess I understand that. It's a little bit disappointing when you have like 2014 and like Shin Godzilla, where they're like the black sheep of the franchise. It seems like the recent ones.
I wouldn't even count Shin Godzilla in this equation because
yeah, absolutely not.
But I guess just like the Godzilla, like the Godzilla movie, like you get two very different types of quality with those films, and it's just like you see them peak there, and it's a little bit like, I know I'm supposed to go in this action film, but it's like part of me is just like, man, I wish a bit more care would go into the script. Like, I know you're supposed to go there for monkey lizard fight, but can there not be like more?
Well,
Yeah.
it
was never going to be with the way they're like the way Marvel's going. It couldn't, and that's what sucks. Like,
but even
if
Marvel
I could
puts in
get
more effort.
a Godzilla 2014 for King Ghidorah, good night. That's all I need ever.
For sure.
Yeah, but if they did put more care into the script, then people would just complain that they might sacrifice monster screen time and action scenes for the character drama, and people wouldn't like that. They already tried that, and they got the feedback from already.
No, you're right though. That's
absolutely
kind of the
true.
bummer. It's like this is the fate. It's been decided. This is what
it's like,
and that's coming from the Godzilla community.
Yeah, and so and like we're to a point now, which I think if this is the idea, this is the direction of the movie it was trying to go, then it's an incredibly successful film. Yeah. But if it's like, I just don't think we're going into brainless action. For me, like I said, a brainless action movie, and it doesn't try too hard to build like, I'm interested in the lore of like the monsters, but I don't give a shit about the humans. Like, I want to know, I wonder if there's a place in this universe where we can make a monster movie that only includes the monsters. We don't care about the humans. You know what I mean? Well, like not even like joking, like genuinely, like something like how
a short film, 2 hours of no dialogue would be interesting.
That would be tough. But same thing, like, if Transformers did a Cybertron movie, where everything takes place on Cybertron. Granted, they can communicate, like with words, so that's a little bit more appealing. But having a film that is something like Lord of the Flies, but with monsters, that would be kind of sweet. That takes place in Hollow Earth area, where it's just like a battle between. I don't know. It's
even why in Lord of the Flies, the kids could still talk to each other.
Exactly, but we're at a point in animation where we can get expressions from things that aren't supposed to give expression. Something can be portrayed completely with expression. That's why Planet of the Apes is such a good fucking visual effects movie. But it's a lot harder to get expressions out of something that doesn't have the natural face of like a human. That's why something like Lion King 2019 or 2018 was bad, was because 2019, it was because it's just a fucking lion, and he's like, doesn't make it, he sometimes will go, but it's like, I can't tell you're scared, I can't tell you're sad, I can't tell you're happy, you're just a fucking cat, but
it's also a worse movie than this one.
That is, I agree, I will 100% agree with you with that, but you know what I mean, like, and they've shown that Godzilla can show a little bit more expression than lizards, obviously. So, like, I feel like it's not too far out of reach to have it be, forget the humans. That humans are, everyone that has a problem with this movie has a problem with the fact that it's humans. We don't give a shit about the humans. We don't care about the science. We don't care about the, okay, you're a Godzilla fan, though. You're like a true Godzilla fan. You and Ryan are like,
it's not even that I'm a Godzilla fan. I actually genuinely liked the characters and what was going on with them. And more, I liked their function in the story. That's without it. Like, gotta have some people in it. Gotta drive it somehow.
But I don't think you do, is what I'm saying. Exactly. But why? Like, why?
I still think
You can't
But
just
why?
have 2 straight hours of monster combat. That gets old really
But
fast.
why?
I think you do need the humans to balance it out, or like, yeah, I feel like 2 hours of monsters talking would be mind-numbing, and you need like the humans to like kind of have like
Short
an
film.
alternative like objective or something going underneath, discovery, intrigue.
Yeah.
But it's just
But why can't we do, or what would be cool? What if Kong, like, say we're in Hollow Earth and it's like thousands or hundreds of thousands of years in the future, right? This is just me spitballing. It's not going to make any sense. Kong is on a evolutionary change where they're now starting. He's now bred. Maybe he finds another one in there. I don't know. I'm just I'm spitballing here. But he's he's mated. There's more of them, and they're now getting into like the Stone Age essentially. So now they have to go through. Essentially, it's a caveman film, but with 100-foot monsters. And if they go through like dimensional travel, like they're kind of showing that they can through the wormhole stuff, then they could go to like planets where humans aren't there and we don't give a fuck about them because humans are like, oh, they're blowing up New York. We don't want that. But if they're blowing up, Zorp 5, we don't give a fuck. Like it's just aliens, Nicholas, yes?
3 things here. 1, love the 2001 homage there with the hyper jump to Hollow Earth. That was cool. 2, they were...
I think there were 2 actually 2001 references, if I might interrupt.
Stone Age, monkeys, Stone Age, hyperdrive.
Where Mechagodzilla was building out, Mechagodzilla was coming out of that factory. There was like a crescent moon, and then like
gross!
the
You
sun
think there's one in
beneath
this movie?
I thought you were talking
What?
about. I thought you were talking about what I was talking about.
That's what I thought.
Like, Crescent Moon? What do you mean? What do you mean?
There's a specific image in 2001 that I think they try to. I saw in this movie.
I'll have to
Were you
look
guys
at
not
it
talking
again.
about that?
No, I thought we were talking about my movie, my Planet of the Kongs.
Sorry.
The Kongs.
Hold on. Second thing. There's an interview. There was an interview at one point. Michael Dougherty, who directed King of the Monsters, he pitched the idea of having a Godzilla movie take place in prehistoric times. And
Yeah,
we'd see,
fuck it.
and we'd see the caveman's
Do it.
perspective of these titans. And number 3, I completely forgot because I
Sorry.
got distracted
by our funny ass talking.
No, it's Victor's fault.
Classic Victor.
Aye.
Shut the
Can't help
fuck up, Victor. Go ahead. Can you think of 3?
I'll remember this third thing eventually and
Okay.
tell it not on this cast.
Okay. But what I'm saying
I'm
is
in
like,
trouble.
but you know what I mean though, right? Because that could be kind of cool because we've done caveman before. Not saying successfully.
it'd be
10,000
fun.
BC isn't a great movie, but
Really though?
it's not a great movie. But they were able to.
We also did 1 million BC with Raquel Welch.
I don't know. Oh, they could. I don't know what that movie. Sorry, I just had an ADHD moment, Nick. I'm not meaning to completely ignore what you're saying.
I don't expect anyone to
my
get
brain's
that.
going. My brain's going. They could do subtitles, right? We've established that they know they know sign language.
Apocalypto with Godzilla.
Yes, they know sign language. So the Kongs can communicate. Maybe Godzilla is like king of all the fucked up monsters, and we just make him a villain. Like fuck it, just make him a villain. He's a villain in all the other movies.
I remember now.
Like-
I remember my thing.
Why not? Yes.
Okay.
Number 3.
So I remember my idea
Number 15.
for what this movie would have been like, just as speculation, would have been a Game of Death style Godzilla movie where Kong fights up a ladder of other titans and eventually meets Godzilla at the end like a final boss.
Cool. Into it.
Bro, that was the first 2 minutes of the movie. There were like MMA lineups and like showing the matchups
saw
for the
that.
monsters.
I caught that on the second run. It's like, oh yeah, there's a tier tree going on here. It's like, oh, so,
Who's
but no,
making
like
it?
the whole,
That's all I want to know.
it's just a graphic for the opening titles, which are cool.
Nitpick. I hate when they use like the footage from the movie.
Yeah,
for, like,
from the 50s.
I'm like, that's so corny.
Or
Or no,
from-
like they
yeah,
use
yeah,
like the
kind of.
from the last one. Like that's so corny.
Granted, they are getting the most out of their cinematography at street level. All the live action plates they did.
Yeah,
So why not?
That's when I think the movie shines the best with the humanity aspect of it. Is that was my problem with the second Pacific Rim. Not my only problem, but that was one of my problems with Pacific Rim, and why I think 2014 Godzilla works so well is that we're not getting angles of. There's a thing in VFX where if you have a camera that doesn't look like it could physically be there, your brain starts to think of it not as a real thing, but as a video game or a cartoon. So the thing with 2014's Godzilla, we were street level, we were on top of buildings, we were in helicopter views, like nothing, it wasn't a static like zoom. There was a literal moment where Kong like pops his shoulder in, like does this, and they zoom in on his face. I'm into it for this movie, but I don't, that it just takes out all like, it takes out all belief. I don't think of it as realistic, but then at the same time, I'm not a true Godzilla fan, and if they listen to the Godzilla fans and like didn't, they're like, well, we don't need the realistic shit, then we want more fun blowing up, then I'm cool with it, whatever.
First off, they have to be listening if they made the fights daytime and they gave more fights and they balanced out the pacing of the movie.
Yeah.
And second of all, you, a cinematographer, should all know there's zoom lenses on cameras.
Not that big of zoom lenses. Not
we
that
can
big
make
of zoom
them.
lens. Well, but that's the thing is that.
But it looks so artificial.
It
that's
does.
The thing too.
It doesn't have any like artifacting or like even if they did. I hate it. I actually hate it. I don't want to do it. But the thing where they zoom in and they kind of fuck up the focus and like artificially. Ugh, it's so hideous. But they did it in 2014, and it kind of worked. So that's what I'm saying is like if they added a little bit more of that in this movie, I think I probably would have enjoyed it more, like significantly more. If they made me feel like, but again, they're destroying the entire city, so there's nowhere for anyone to stand and like, fucking up there with like the the news camera, like
it's also that the monsters move slower in the first Legendary movie. Here, these guys are just jacked up and skittering around. It was really
the physics
cool.
are totally out the window with this one.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's still logical because you can still piece it together from other things. Because Godzilla got that supercharge at the end of the last movie, and he was faster because of it. He's got all that spare energy, even 5 years after that event.
But also, we're establishing that the camera is not a person, which is kind of what 2014 was established, that when you're looking at this, you could be looking at it from a person's point of view. So
I get it.
As a human, they're moving hella slow because they're so big. That's why when a plane is overhead, it's looking like it's moving hella slow, but it's actually going, like 400 miles per hour. I don't know how the fuck fast planes go.
I would still rather have multiple angles and all that coverage instead of that slow speed at this point.
I would like to see Kong
you need it.
in that style that we're describing. Kong in like that grounded, gritty style.
Dude,
that would have been sick.
I'm saying that would be cool. Like, especially from the jungle, like in Kong, like the jungle scenes where we're like, maybe we're running through, like maybe the camera's on like on a steady cam and we're sprinting through the forest, and then we just see like, and like he's like punching monsters and shit. Dude, I would have been standing up, like I would have been like, oh yeah, he'd fight monsters. Like I was already doing that, but still,
There was that one shot though, that one really awesome shot. Godzilla flops onto the aircraft carrier, he roars, and the camera pans right to Kong, and he's coming in for a straight punch.
That was a great shot.
That is a fantastic shot, but like I said, that looks like a view from a person. And that's why I think it looks that's why I think it works so well. That shot is that is like one of my favorite shots in the movie. There's also a shot, I think it's in this one, where I could be wrong, but Mechagodzilla's got Godzilla's head, and he slams it into one building, and we're looking at it from the view of one building. Slams it into one, slams it into the other, and then slams it. I was like, and I would have laughed so hard if, like, say there's no sound, it's just like muffled, and we hear like elevator music, and then like,
you know what?
That would have made me laugh so hard.
There was a couple shots that actually scared me a little bit. I said this already, but no, there was that one, and there's another one where Godzilla's just in extreme close-up. He comes out of the water and his mouth gapes open.
Yeah.
It's freaky shit, dude. Kong and Godzilla throw Mechagodzilla into a building like two senior college frat boys dunking a freshman across a bar of drinks or something. Like, dude.
The end fight with Kong getting the like the fucking electric shock and like waking up and him being like, oh shit, and then he just pops the fuck off.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's like, which is a little inconsistent, but I guess he has that boost of energy and he's like a new man plus some at that point.
Monster
so he's like
defibrillator.
You know, and then I love when he's chopping him down, like getting like chunking this dude away. I like the team up at the end. That was cool. It was inevitable.
Fires the
like
atomic
I said,
breath into the axe. I love
yeah,
teamwork.
that was cool.
That was
Yeah.
dope. That was
He's
really
got
cool.
he's got his arm pinned, and then he's like does it at him, and he chops his fucking tail off, dude. That was
Godzilla
cool.
just says, "Get this bitch."
Yeah, he's like, this guy just beat my ass, homie. but like I said, I like the aspect of them kind of being like, they're just, if you think about it, they're just two frat boys that just beat the shit out of each other because they were talking shit about like which frat was better. And then they're like, no, respect, bro. No, respect. No, you're pretty cool, bro. Like, hit me up later. Hit me up. And then they find another dude who's like, well, I actually think this is better. And they're like, fuck you. I'm going to beat your ass. They beat his ass. And then he's like, now I think about it, I think my frat's better. And he's like, don't even get me started, bro. And he's like, okay, no worries. That is exactly how this whole fight went down at the end.
That brings me to my favorite
great.
part of most monster movies is that if I can make funny commentary on the fly about what these monsters potentially are thinking and saying to each other, then that's just extra hilarious for me.
Yeah,
It makes the
man.
experience better.
This movie is so fun. Like,
It is extremely fun.
It's fun. It's fantastical. It's complete nonsense, and it's great. I like that aspect of it. I can't say it's a great movie, but I think I'm pretty set and I'm pretty solid, and I think I know my rating for this.
Do you guys want to get into ratings?
Yeah, sure. Ryan, why don't you start us off, pal?
All right. It's a tough call because it's my fandom, but that writing is so dookie. I love the music so much in this movie. Music's great. I thought it was super goofy the whole way through. That's a plus. I like a 3. I think it's solid. Like, I would totally be like, if someone's like, should I see this? I'd be like, yeah, you'll probably like it. You'll probably have fun. Like,
Yeah, it's fun.
I don't see a reason to like hate it, but like I totally get like the writing is like I much prefer I just want Toho to get the rights again, dude. Like, just more Shin Godzilla. That's all I want. And I go into
Dude, Shin
Legendary
Godzilla's so
knowing
cool.
I'm not gonna get that. Like, these movies are so like just, for lack of a better word, just Americanized. And it's just a burger and fries, and I'm like,
That's a good
Okay.
analogy.
delicious.
I like a burger and fries, but like
Yeah.
there's not much thought into
Moderation.
it, you know.
It's
There's
not sushi. It's not sushi.
It's not sushi.
You know?
It's not exactly.
It's not sushi,
So
but
I'll go,
you know, it is a burger
I'll
and
go
fries.
3.
I think I'm also going with 3. I don't hate this movie at all. There's no hate for it. I can't even say I dislike it because I was just enjoying myself the entire time. Like, it's so fun. It's just a balls to the wall, like, two monsters punching each other in the face, dude. Like, it's so simple, and the concept of it just works. It just is great. It gets boggled down for me again with writing. I personally, I don't care about the humans in this. None of the characters have any sort of value to me. I just monkey lizard fight, you know? Like, that is what I'm wanting to see. And I got a little bit of a peek of how that could be played out if it was just that when they introduced the Hollow Earth stuff. And I'm interested. I like the you know, the world itself. Hollow Earth itself could be the antagonist of the film. Like how in 2001, you know, Hal isn't the antagonist, space and loneliness is the antagonist of that film. And humanity itself and the travel and, you know, the bleakness of being in space and how dangerous it is. It's also technology, I guess you could say. But, you know, I digress.
Hal.
But yeah, so Hal, I guess. Okay, never mind. Maybe that's not the best point. So, but you know what I mean. But I think it would be interesting to see a film or figure out a way that could be have this be a thing, but have it be without the humans. Have it be not on Earth. Have it take place millions of years in the future, millions of years in the past. Like, I think there's potential. And if they make it and it sucks, then I will eat my words and I'll be like, damn, there's just that's where we're at, you know. So, but Godzilla versus Kong, solid 3. Again, Josie's parents asked me when I walked upstairs. They were like, "What did you like? How was it?" I was like, "It was fun." That's all I can say. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was great. I didn't say it was good. I didn't say it was bad. I said, it was fun. It was a fun movie. I had a good time. I enjoyed watching the film, and that's all I want from a movie. I guess is I just want to enjoy it. I want to have fun.
I think I'm gonna have to go with a 2.5. I pretty much echo a lot what you guys said, especially Chase. Like it's a fun, it's a burger and shake. Like you're there for monkey and lizard. We've repeated that many times.
I love that analogy, dude.
Thank you.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Ooh, big
Tastes
monkey
good,
punch
but
big lizard. Building go fall.
Exactly.
That's what it
what's
is.
cool.
precisely.
The way
So
review this
yeah, and it's like I knew that going in, but I would like a little bit more. I'm not wanting an art house film, but I would just like there to be a bit more care and commitment to the human stuff, since that you kind of need that. I just want that to be interesting. So when I get to the end, I'm like, I'm satisfied. That was a complete movie. I didn't just I just felt a little bit empty by the end. What's the point?
Understandable. That's fair.
But it is very fun, so I do recommend it.
Nick, take her away.
You're gonna hate me for this one.
I won't. I promise.
Solid 5. Here we go.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
No, I fuck it. Just okay. Yeah, characters are still thin. Maybe there's some issues there, but I'll take them a lot more over. Like again, like compared to something like King of the Monsters, I think is a vast improvement, or not
Absolutely.
a vast improvement, just a minor improvement, or just a necessary improvement. Necessary improvement. I'm gonna say that. It is what it is. It knows what it is, and it does it really well. It's a flat out action movie. It's all go from the start. You get a lot of monster screen time, and the fights are really awesome. Amazing visual effects, great sound design and music. Characters that leave enough of an impression for me. I dig it. I dig them pretty good. Captures the old school Godzilla spirit really well, and even then, it's still just a really fun monster movie. You don't need to go looking for a whole lot in this one. It's a real crowd pleaser. Don't don't read too much into it. I know it's Godzilla.
Absolutely.
And you should expect more out of your movies, but this one's good. There's good action movies that know what they are and stick with a formula and do it well. And yeah, this was a really fucking good one. I want to go see it again. It was so good.
Dude, like I said in the beginning when we first got on, I'm so pumped that you enjoyed this movie. I was almost more excited to hear how you enjoyed it more than how I enjoyed it. Because I know you guys have been pumped to just watch. You guys keep on like, oh, well, fucking Godzilla got delayed again. Like, oh, we're never going to see this movie. And then now you guys have seen it. And Nick, you think it's a 4. And that's fantastic. And I'm so pumped. It feels good to see my friends happy.
Yeah,
Sorry, friend.
It's an important 4. Just like, at least for me, I think it's a solid 4. Because I've been doing a lot of introspecting about my movie ratings. I think the 4 is like my go-to rating if I really like a movie, and then it's subsequent watches I'll have to see if it still earns that or if it drops or increases.
Understand.
And that was the case. That was the case for King of the Monsters. I'm very supportive of that movie. I still think it's plenty good and does many things right for as many things it does wrong. But King of the Monsters did degrade a little bit over time. I will say it's the weakest of the MonsterVerse, and even then, it's still really fun, good to watch. But I won't quite hold it in the same tier as Skull Island or the first Godzilla movie. And Godzilla vs Kong, I like more than King of the Monsters. It's just really fun, and it's just how I feel. I think it's gonna be a 4, at least longer than King of the Monsters was. It's conflicting. I try to put the fan stuff aside, and sometimes it takes a hold of me a lot more than it does. Even when I acknowledge it and profess my love.
Whatever, dude.
I feel it's just
your
how
opinion,
I feel.
your movie opinion. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. If you
Certainly
hate a
not gonna
movie
hurt
that
their feelings.
it's not gonna hurt their feelings. It's not, I don't care if a movie is, a movie is, that's what's fun about this, is that we're able to talk and be like, yeah, I think this movie's good. Oh, I think that movie sucks. Oh, I can see that, and that's what's fun. That's what I like about this. But let's wrap this shit up. Victor, take us home, my man.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a fun ride. Cool to have Nick back on, talking his passion, and follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, and look out for the next episode, whenever that will be. Thank you so much. We love you. Bye-bye, sweetie. We love you.
Bye.
Mwah. Bye.
See ya!